Hi, this is Rob from Intelligent Irrigation LLC, and we're in beautiful Las Vegas today, where we're visiting growingyourgreens.com. John Kohlers.
What's up?
And this is his garden. I think everybody's aware of his garden, and we're here checking on the AquaJet. We did a 3-year evaluation, and John made a video on that, and you can check the link down there because we're going to link to that. So we're not going to really get a lot into that. We'll refer you to John's video. He did a really good video for the AquaJet and a surprise video. So we'll let you see what that is when John comes out with it. But right now, we're here and we want to show you a couple things. We're on the side of John's garden where he has the drip system, and you'll notice he has round beds. I think everybody's familiar with that. And what we wanted to show you is our chart. So John, tell us about the chart.
So I planted like Swiss chard over on this side and some dinosaur kill over on this side of my yard in these round raised beds on a drip system, and I planted a similar time chard and dinosaur kale on the other side under the AquaJet. Now, I used the same plants. The difference was the irrigation. So frankly, on this side, I did get lax, and actually as we warmed up for spring, I was only on 1 time a day. So this side was getting vastly underwatered, which hurt the performance and how big these guys grew. In addition, my soil mix on this side is not quite as good as on the side of the AquaJet either. So they had 2 things going against it. Maybe the poor soil and maybe poor watering conditions, not enough water.
Right. And remember, with the drip system, with the tubes on top, that kind of acts like a heater, somewhat like a solar pool heater, where the water will heat up. And then, once again, you see how important it is to get the proper amount of water to the plants. And also, with the AquaJet, we use a proper amount of water to cool the roots. As in December, we get really hot here in Vegas. How hot do you think it gets here?
110.
110.
Easily, maybe even more.
Wow. So with the AquaJet, as opposed to the drip system being underneath, you're able to use that to cool your roots off in the hot weather. And tell us how that takes out the stress and helps the evaporation.
Yeah, so I mean, basically when you have the water from the top down, the water has to percolate down from the top to where the roots are, but with the AquaJet, it goes right into the root zone. So it's a lot better. Also, because the water always is staying underground, it's never on top in this black irrigation tubing to get warm. That helps allow the water that's cool to be taken up by the plants so that the plants could cool themselves down. And another reason about the AquaJet is that it actually aerates the root zone, which actually encourages all the microbial growth in there, because it's the microbes really that are making the nutrients for the plants from the organic matter and the trace minerals that are in the soil. So that happens on a lot faster scale than it does over on this side, where all the microbes are still getting the water, but they're not getting the aeration.
Right, and that's very important, and of course that plays into the yield and the growth, because when you get the aeration with the microbes, it kind of like ignites the microbes, kind of an enhancement to the good soil. So not only do you get the proper amount of water, you get the good soil, but like John said, it's under the surface where it's not being affected by the wind and by the heat, and it gets kind of insulated by the top down. So you're watering in the 4-inch level, so you got 4 inches of soil added as a buffer to keep it cool, and it's very important to keep those roots cool in order to have a great growth and the proper amount of water in the proper place as you see. So what we want to do right now is go over to the other side where the AquaJet is and show them the chart over there.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so now we're on the AquaJet side, and you'll see that the chart, and actually this whole bed is actually pretty impressive. You got not only a lot of growth, but it looks healthy. And if you're going to juice any of this, boy, you're going to get a lot of juice, and if you're going to eat, you're going to get a lot of food. So John, tell us about this side, tell us about this bed. We know that we have 2 AquaJets in here, but this bed always seems to be performing really well. So show us the chart, compare it to the other side, and tell us why you think it's better on this side.
So yeah, I mean, it seems like a setup, like, oh yeah, John used an AquaJet, so his plants are way huger and they look healthier. This is legit, that's my side with the drip, this is my side with the AquaJet, this side grew better. Now, I can't attribute all this growth to the AquaJet, but I could definitely attribute some of the growth, and maybe even a good percentage of the growth, to the AquaJet. Having the right irrigation and ensuring your plants get the proper amount of water is super critical. So I really love how the AquaJet waters underneath the ground so that you're not, basically wasting water. I mean, even if it's not the summertime here in the desert, with the arid climate, it is just so dry, right? I mean, some of you guys live in a humid environment. This is the exact opposite, right? You breathe out at night and all your water vapor disappears. You're sleeping at night your water's evaporating out of your skin because it is so dry in this climate. And likewise with the soil, right? Water on top of the soil just literally, I mean, within a few hours will just evaporate out into the air. Some of it will sink down, but a lot of it evaporates out. And so that's why I'm not a big fan of top watering in an arid environment. So by watering underneath, the plant's getting a higher volume of water that you're actually putting in, so you're actually conserving water. It's going to where it needs it, plus it's actually getting the aeration down there, which is basically getting those microbes going, putting them into overdrive so that they can actually make more nutrients for your plants. So definitely on this side, because of the irrigation with the extra oxygen, but also a better soil mix, I've got a lot better growth using the same exact plants. Now here's the thing, what I want to share with you guys is this, right? I want you guys to have every possible advantage when you guys are doing anything in life, right? But especially with gardening, right? Any little thing that you could change out to do better is going to get you better growth. And all these little things you could do better add up to be a big thing, which means you're going to have a better growth and healthier plants in the long run. And the AquaJet is just one of many different tricks in my arsenal that I use to get some amazing growth here in the desert.
Yeah, and that's great because, like John touched on the soil, and I think the important thing about the soil too is you have your amendments and you have your nutrients, and those are two different things. And so we don't want you to mix them up as just the one thing. As amendments, it's amendments in the beginning, the nutrients that you put in, and then the AquaJet. All that together is like pieces of a puzzle that you put together, and you have a beautiful picture after that, and it's not missing any pieces. With the drip system, maybe you're missing a piece or two. But with the AquaJet, what it does is it gives you the proper amount of water, but it helps out in the soil. And as you can see right here, we have a great bed. And also the nutrients, like we said, are important. I know that John has a great mix with amendments, but he also uses some great nutrients. And of course, you'll be talking about that in another upcoming video that you're going to do. So we'll put that link down there below. So stay tuned. Make sure that you stay tuned on John's channel for the 3-year review of the AquaJet. He's going to tell you everything good and bad about it and what he thought about it and give us his opinion. It's been 3 years since it's been in now, and you do what, 2 grows a year?
Yeah, I grow all year, so 2 grows a year, yeah, summer and fall.
Right, so he's really got a lot of use out of the AquaJet, which is great, and for 3 years it gives him a lot of experience, you know, and we're going to keep rolling with the AquaJet. Like I said, you've got a few more tricks up his sleeve with the AquaJet that he's going to try, but you'll have to stay tuned for his video to find out what that is. So, right now we want to end it with this bed. You know, we gave a really good review on the AquaJet and the watering underneath the surface and the aeration and what it does. And once again, you touched on that a little bit more on your video. So, Rob from Intelligent Irrigation, along with John from Growing Your Greens, and we want to thank you for John for letting us come out and do the videotape, check on the AquaJet, and especially thank you for that 3-year review, and we're really excited about that video coming out. And all of you stay tuned, because like I said, there's good, there's bad, and there's indifferent. He's going to go over everything in that video, plus the surprise video that comes after that, which is really cool. So, John, Rob from Las Vegas, and remember to keep watering the intelligent way with the AquaJet.